Hi everyone.
Hi everyone.
It's been a long time coming. Welcome back to our channel, and if you're new here, my name is Michelle.
And I'm Lauren.
And we talk about Taylor Swift all the time. So that is what our channel is about. And in today's episode, we are going to be tier ranking the Torture Poets departments. And then a sneak peek for next week's episode, we will be doing the anthology section of the Torture Poets department. So I'm going to hand over to Lauren to describe what our ranking or our tiers are all about.
Okay, so I love watching these videos, and I think what's nice is that there are two of us. Not that this is unique. There are definitely other channels that we watch. Chats and Reacts is one of them. We do love watching them as well. So it's not a unique concept, but what is nice here is we can look at our taste, and then people in the comments can tell us who has better taste. So please feel free to drag us both if need be.
Absolutely.
But you're also more than welcome to, reach an opinion and say who of us has the better taste. So
I agree.
if we have a look at our rankings, obviously God tier, okay? No,
which I feel like is a uniform tier across everybody.
True. And also, no explanation needed. Again, I'll probably give one anyway. These are songs that you would need to survive on a desert island. Like, the question where they ask you, what do you need to survive on a desert island? These are these songs like you have to take with you in case of emergency. Break glass for these songs because they're just your favorite. Absolutely. And then in our next tier, we have Don't Say I Never Gave You Anything. And hopefully some of you know the genius of where this comes from, because if you haven't, from One Tree Hill, it's a beautiful scene between Nathan and Hayley.
It's for you.
Stop it.
Come on. Don't say I never gave you anything.
Hayley so much, and in one of the scenes, it's just cinematic, it's beautiful. We all almost fell to our knees for that scene. Nathan gives Hayley a bracelet and says to her, "Don't say I never gave you anything." Iconic line. The reason that is not yet God tier, even though the way I've described that scene is it's like cinematic, like fall to our knees. We just needed that little bit to get it across the line to get it to God tier. So it was perfect, but not quite perfect.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then we have Good. Okay, so it's still a good song, but it's not like excellent and God tier as in the previous tier. So it's basically just no thoughts, just vibes. When we say no thoughts, we're not saying that Taylor had no thoughts writing the song. It's basically we have no thoughts about the song. It's just a vibe. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to dance. I'm going to feel good. But it's a good song, but I'm not going to really give it much thought beyond that. And then I Don't Get It. Okay, these will be for those songs that is just, it goes way over our heads. It's a bit deep. Maybe it's a bit too lyrical or poetic and we don't quite understand it. So there's room for this one to go up the ranks once we switch on our thinking brains and probably dissect the song. It could go up, it could go down, but it's sort of just there. We don't really get it yet. And bear in mind, we've had a couple of months to digest Torture Poets. We've had it on repeat since it was released last April. And yeah, if we still don't get it, that probably says a lot about us.
And I think it's also maybe we just haven't lived that period in our life just yet, because I do think that Taylor writes songs for like experiences.
Absolutely.
And potentially that, we just haven't experienced what she's writing about yet, so we don't fully like understand. So this is a us problem, definitely not a Taylor Swift problem.
Okay, we can actually just say it's never a Taylor problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just probably our disclaimer there.
Yeah.
And then I Forgot That You Existed is, I would never gravitate towards a song. I would never like open up Spotify and choose it myself. But if it comes on shuffle, I'm not going to change the song. I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to be like, oh yes, I forgot about you. I won't change the song, but I won't go searching for it. And then lastly, skip. So if the song comes up on shuffle, I will actively press skip.
Yes.
We probably won't have many songs there, as I'm sure many Swifties probably wouldn't have many songs there. But let's get straight into it. So, and for a fortnight there we were forever running.
Okay, so I think because in the last video I went first, so let's see you go first this time.
Okay, cool. So Fortnite. Cool. I think I'm gonna put Fortnite under no thoughts, just vibes. I'm not taking it to an island. It's not cinematic for me yet, but I listen to the song and I'm like, I get it. I vibe to it. I'm putting it there. It's a good song.
I don't agree.
Okay.
And for me, Fortnite is going into Don't Say I Never Gave You Anything.
I nearly thought you were going to put it in God's here. I was going to be like, no.
Because guys, I remember exactly where I was when I like hit play on Torture Poets Department for the very first time, and I heard like the first 10 seconds. And you know, that whole line of I love you, it's ruining my life. I was just like, what? I was in my car driving to work, which I feel like is the best place to experience like a new album, just because you're by yourself, you're cranking it, and I was just like, what the hell? And for me, this song hasn't waned whatsoever. So that's why Don't Say I Never Gave You Anything. It's just, and that music video, their chemistry, anyway.
That music video is insane.
Perfect.
Like, I would buy them as a couple. Like, that was
100%.
incredible.
Who else loves Austin?
He is.
With
He's
iris
amazing.
tattoos. I'm just like, oh, that's a completely different guy. Anyway.
Okay, the Torture Poets Department. You left your typewriter at my apartment. Okay, so Torture Poets Department, I'm also going to put in, it's a good song, No Thoughts, Just Vibes.
I'm like, is she a Swiftie right now? This is my question.
It's still a good song. Please listen. The ranking or the tier is, it's a good song, but it's not like cinema for me, and it's not God tier, but it's a good song.
Okay, so I'm also gonna put this into Don't Say I Never Gave You Anything.
No.
Dude, honestly, the fact it's towards like the chorus and the melody. Guys, I'm not a musician. I don't really know what I'm saying when I'm talking about melodies, but it's that whole part of like, who's gonna love you if it's not me? Who's gonna hold you if it's not me? I'm like, oh, that little part of the song, I'm just like, dude, it gives me chills every time I listen to it. It's absolutely incredible.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so then track 3. Here we go again. Okay, so if we say My Boy Breaks His Favorite Toys, I'm putting you straight to Don't Say I Never Gave You Anything.
Wow, thank you for coming to the
that
party.
song. I must say though, for me, when I heard some of the original lyrics, when they say he was my best friend and that was the worst part, and now it was changed to Down at the Sandlot, I still sing it as he was my best friend and that was the worst part. That part, it needs to be, I need it to be, and that was the worst part. That cuts deeply, but it's still going to be Don't Say I Never Gave You Anything. I think if the lyric for me was, and that was the worst part there as we've described, that would have made it God tier for me.
No, really?
Yes.
Just that one change in the lyric?
Absolutely.
Okay. You're very volatile. Okay, My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. I think the meaning behind it is very beautiful, and that's why I'm also going to put it in Don't Say I Never Gave You Anything.
Oh, you're going to put anything lower?
Because I'm a true Swiftie, guys. I just love everything she does.
No, we need to be objective.
Yes.
Okay, we can't love everything. We can love a lot of things, but not all of these can be our favorite children. Okay, not us singing every time as if we can sing. Like, okay, but we're just enjoying ourselves. That's the point of this, right? Down bad. No, I'm down bad, crying at the gym. Ooh, this is gonna be Don't Say I Never Gave You Anything.
Why?
I can picture this. Like, I can picture being down bad. Okay, to be honest, I wasn't familiar with the phrase. I'd never said the phrase. But I feel like Taylor has now coined a phrase to be... Everyone knows now what you're saying when you say I'm down bad. Like, we can all remember a time in our lives when we've been down bad over something. And just because of that, like, the feelings that it evokes, it has to go there.
Yes, and also the fact that, like, you know, you can be doing something so mundane as, like, going to the gym. But even there, like, I mean, you can't, like, hold it together, like, enough to do a simple task where, like, you don't necessarily need to show up because you're just showing up for yourself.
But even when she says everything comes out teenage petulance, like, remember when you didn't get your way when you were a teenager, like, the whole world knew, like, you were in a foul mood and so was the rest of the world. Like, you were just, it was, Don't Say I Never Gave You Anything.
Okay, so I'm going to put Down Bad into good. No thoughts, just vibes. Because I don't think about anything when I listen to that song, and I don't necessarily relate to it a lot. So for me, it's a very good song, and I just like love the structure, and yeah, can't say anything more.
Okay, cool. Track 5. Okay, so for those of you who are returning to this video, that would be amazing. Thank you if you have. So Long London, I don't think that there's going to be any guesses as to where we're both putting this. We might as well both go and put it straight into God's Ear. Okay. We spoke about it last week. This song, it just, when it was released, the feelings that we had the first time initially, we fell in love with the song. The way she describes the breakdown of this relationship, the church bells in the beginning, it put us in London, it took us to London, and we felt the anxiety of this relationship falling apart. Insane skill to do that, and that is going with us to the desert island. We need that for the island, for our survival.
And if it's not in your God's Ear, I would really recommend you just gonna go listen to it on repeat for a couple of times, and then I promise you'll love it. Like, everybody has to love it.
You have to. It's cinematic. Amazing. Love the song. Okay, but Daddy, I love him. Cue Ariel.
Daddy, I love him!
No!
And I'm gonna put this in Don't Say I Never Gave You Anything.
I remember the first time that I listened to the song, and I was like literally screaming when it was that line, and we all know
what that line is.
And then it was just like, oh no, just kidding, you know. And I was like, yo man, that was so clever. And I honestly just wish that there was like a mini like video recorder like attached to all Swifties on that day, just so that Taylor could go and watch our reactions. Because honestly, that's one of my favorite things to do, is to go and look at people's first time or like first listen and their reaction. And then I always skip to So Long London and But Daddy I Love Him, and it's just incredible.
People's
to watch.
like literally jaw on the floor.
Absolutely.
And also, I don't cater to all those vipers dressed in Impact's clothing. We said that line in our minds to each other, in our minds, and then to each other. We are not telepathic.
Yes.
You know what I'm thinking of? Remember those twins from Days of Our Lives, Cassie and Rex, that could like, Rex, I'm in danger. That didn't happen, right?
Yeah.
But that line, vipers dressed in Impact's clothing. They should teach this at schools, in English courses. I'm sure they do now. There's some Taylor Swift courses at varsities and stuff. But absolutely insane. Okay, so where did you put yours?
Okay, so But Daddy I Love Him, for me, that's God's Ear.
Really?
I love the
Take
storytelling.
it with you to the desert island. Okay.
I love the storytelling. And like, I mean, you can almost like see a movie play out in your head as she's singing, and I'm just like, it's genius. I love it.
It is. It's a brilliant song.
Okay, Fresh Out the Slammer.
I love this. So Fresh Out the Slammer is in God's Ear for me, because we can feel her emotions of like being underappreciated, you know, hiding away, taking cover, where she says years of labor. Okay, years of labor. Why you should never have to describe your relationship as like labor or hard work. So of course there is going to be effort and hard work that needs to be put into every relationship, but it seemed like it was so unreciprocated. And again, like that speaks to the message in So Long London. So years of labor, locks. So she was basically locked away, hiding away.
In prison,
And ceilings. You can almost picture like somebody like lying on the bed. You know when you're like going through things, you're like lying on the bed and staring up at the ceiling, contemplating your whole life in the shade of how he was feeling. God's Ear. Straight God's Ear.
And I love that line where it's basically like, you know, to get 1 hour of sunshine, because for me it's almost like, you know, she's on death row, and then they allow like the inmates out. I mean, I don't know, I watch all of these like prison documentaries, but then they like let the inmates out for like an hour, like outside in the yard, and for me that's exactly kind of like the picture that I got. And just like the resentment there, but also what I found so interesting is that while she was locked away, we always like thinking about, you know, what would we do if we were free? And she was thinking about the next person that she was going to call. And I find that very interesting.
Okay, so where are you putting it?
Also in God's Ear. I love it.
You seem surprised when I put it there, and I hear you putting it. Okay, anyway. Like, I'm so confused. Okay.
Things spicy.
Florida.
It's one hell of a drive.
The thing for me before... The only thing that I think when I hear the song is like that bang. Like that banging comes first to my mind, and I feel like that's not what I want to think about first when I hear the song. So I'm going to put her in I Forgot That You Existed. Like, I'm not going to reach for you. I'm never going to select the song from a playlist first and listen to it. If it comes on shuffle, I'm not going to skip it. But like, it's just there. I forgot she existed.
And I must say, because I'm not a die-hard Florence and Machine fan, because I can't name like all of their songs, but one of their songs called Never Let You Go, or Never Let Me Go. It is so beautiful, and I was thinking that they were going to do not necessarily a ballad, but I was thinking kind of like a rock electric touch kind of vibe. And yeah, just Florida, yeah. Shame. I forgot that you existed, but again, not going to skip you.
Yeah, we'll let it play, but yeah, we're not going to skip. Okay. Guilty as Sin.
Guys, I told her, as the first listen I had of this, I was like, you're very, very deep. And I was like, you are gonna love this. And
I'm gonna put it under it's good, no thoughts, just vibes.
she never loved it. Can you imagine?
In the beginning I didn't. Like at first I really didn't. It just, I don't know, it was a bit too, I think it was a bit too raunchy for me probably. That's why I was like, sure, like Taylor, go get it. But like I think it was too jarring for me initially. Then I heard it again. The line that saved it, I was gonna put it in I don't get it. But the line that saved it for me is they don't know how you haunted me so stunningly. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. I love that. So that is why it moved up. Otherwise it was gonna be in I don't get it.
Okay, well then call me raunchy because
What?
it's going straight to God's
No!
I absolutely love the song. It's just
Really?
I can't explain why I do, but honestly, a lot of the times this is almost like the first song that I pick off of TTPD to listen to on the way home.
Really?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I think it was too jarring for me at first, and that's why, like, I couldn't get, I was like, sure, Taylor, like, okay. Okay. Who's afraid? Okay, so who's afraid of little old me? This one also, I think, made a lot of people mouths fall open.
Yes,
I think mine
definitely.
included.
And such clever songwriting.
Yes.
Like I was with her the whole way. Like she had me captivated.
Absolutely. I'm gonna put it in Don't Say I Never Gave You Anything. I love the idea that in the song you can almost see her progression throughout her career, where she's like, you know, starts off like cute, you know, like sweet little country girl, and then like where she says I was tame, I was gentle till the circus life made me mean. And obviously I anticipate or interpret that as like the media, all of the stories around her. If she was good or if she was innocent, then that's she's playing the parts of the good girl. Or if she was at an award show and she's like act surprised when she gets nominated, then they're like, oh my gosh, she's so fake. How can she not know that she's you know, being nominated for awards? Remember that narrative when like they would announce that she was nominated for something and she would win.
Yes.
And then there's always clips of her going, and then everyone would be like, seriously, after so many awards, how can you still be surprised? So then but then on the flip side, had she probably been like nodding or like clapping for herself, then they would probably be like, oh, where's your humility? Like, why aren't you humble? So she could never win. And I feel like the media and everybody's perception of her made her that way. And I think it was a very brave song to put out, and I'm glad that she did, and I think it's brilliant.
So for me, this is going to God tier. And it's just because I love her spin on it, but I'm also kind of, as a female, I feel like it can almost be like a female rage kind of song.
Okay.
And it's almost like, you know, who would be afraid of me? You know, and it's almost like a gentle reminder that we do have, or at least for me, that we do have the power to, you know, make the difficult careers, to be a manager in a corporation, to do all of those difficult things. And I also, there's just one part of the song that just like gets me every time. And I think it's like two-thirds of the way through, and it's one of the background vocals actually, where she almost like, she doesn't cry out. It's almost like a very sad, almost piece of the song, and it's like, but who could be afraid of little old me? Like, who's afraid of me? And I just love the whole female rage aspect to it, because I definitely think it's there. And also, that's my whole personality, to be quite honest.
It is. That is very much you. And also, don't underestimate people. I like that message as well. So you should be afraid of me and my success, and I can also intimidate you. Like, you're not only going to intimidate me, and I love that aspect.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can fix him, no really I can. Skip. I'm putting that in the skip. I always skip that song. I don't know. I don't like it. Like, it gives saloon, cowboy bar kind of thing in the beginning, and I don't know, there's just something that I don't understand about it. But I also don't really want to try. I just skip it. So like, you would be like, okay, if you don't understand, shouldn't it mean I don't get it? But it's like, I don't really like it enough to like try. I don't know. It's just something about it that I'm like, I don't like it. No, I don't like it. Skip.
And for me, it's almost like that whole, I don't want to say country sound, but I'm just like, I don't get the whole aesthetic of like the cowboy, like it gives me cowboy kind of vibes.
It does.
And I'm just like, no, that's not me, hey? So mine is also going in skip.
Really? Okay, so this household hasn't appreciated the song.
Yes, okay. Lommel. Oh, guys.
Okay, this is going to God's Here for me.
I agree. Let me just put mine there as well.
There's just so much. It's honestly, it's such a sad song. It honestly could have been a contender for track 5 as well. There's a lot happening there. When she talks about our field of dreams engulfed in fire, your arsons match.
Yeah.
So that description of like, you can almost picture like this beautiful field. I picture like a gold field almost, and it's just burning, and he started it, and now, and also that clever progression of love of my life to the loss of my life. It's insanely good. I'm just actually like stalling a little bit as I'm thinking, like it's like my brain is like going to try and process, because I'm just thinking about all of those good lines, how that song makes me feel. I love it so much.
But I also think it's one of the more like stripped back songs on the album, and I will like forever die on this hill, and the hill is called Taylor Should Just Release an Acoustic Album. And it's just because her voice is so beautiful that, like, you know, I got excited every night of the Eras tour just to see what she was going to play on the piano or the guitar. And they, like, most of those songs always sounded so much more beautiful than the originals, just because that there was like so much more emotion behind it. And yeah, Lommel, and for me it made it even worse. Like, if it was the change between You're the Love of My Life and then You're the Loss of My Life, I'm like, okay, that's one thing. But the fact that he was saying You're the Love of My Life, and then she turned it into, but he's going to be the loss of mine, I'm just like, yo man, I'm done. No one expected that. That like a duo change. It's just incredible song. Incredible.
It is. I love it. Okay, so I can do it with a broken heart. That is gonna go to Don't Say I Never Gave You Anything. That song is my feel good song. Like, if I feel a little bit low, or I feel nervous, or I feel like I need some help to try and do something or to accomplish something, I am going to listen to this song. It gets me, it's almost like what The Man is on Lover for some people, like to be like, I'm the man. This is what the song is for me.
Interesting. I'm gonna put it in good, no thoughts, just vibes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I love it. I love it. But as you were mentioning, that's like the song to get you into like the mood and like, you know, proactive and all the rest, and to do difficult things. That's Who's Afraid of Little Old Me for me.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, 3 left. The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. Let's go put it in the same place, because we both know where those are going. That is going straight.
I don't get it.
To
I'm
God's
joking, guys.
I was just gonna be like, my brain just buffered for a bit. I'm like, was there a miscommunication? We talk about the song all the time.
Guys.
That bridge alone could just stand by itself and without any other context, and we would all be like, bravo, amazing. Like, it is insane.
My Spotify Wrapped, this was the song that came out as number 1, and honestly, it's just, I listened to that bridge over and over and over, but I also love how the song really like builds up. So I mean, like the first half is very different in my opinion to the second half.
Quite
and, like, the
slow
bridge.
and calm almost, and then it keeps building up with anger, that eventually when she like gets to the bridge, you're like, Well, you
Yeah.
can almost picture her like slamming her fist on the table, be like, "Boy, you
Yes.
said someone."
Absolutely. And I think that was how the relationship went, no matter how like short it was, that like, you know, it would be like these little indiscretions that he did, and then she would slowly start to get more and more angry until it just like exploded. And I'm just like, yo man, that the sleeper cell spy line, guys.
Wow.
When I heard that for the first time, I was like, get me out of here.
How does she do this? Her brain, like, she needs to be studied. And also the performance at the Eras tour.
Oh,
when everyone is marching with like their drums behind her, and it's like this army, and then the shots are fired, and she's just lying there. We have no words.
Better.
We have no words. Like, honestly, can you imagine seeing that live?
For the first time, because I think the guys in Paris were so lucky to see this set live for the first time with no spoilers. I think that would have just been absolutely incredible. Yeah.
100%.
Okay, The Alchemy.
I'm gonna put this in Don't Say I Never Gave You Anything. I get such good feels, and like I feel all warm and fuzzy, and this song, like, why? Tell me why I want to cry now, but like I just feel like a lot of these songs on the album are so sad. She's looking back and she's like, so many things went wrong. I've been like locked in my cell, you know, the relationship has fallen apart. You promised me things, you never delivered. And this one is like such a turnaround to be like, okay, but look where I am now. And who are we to fight the alchemy? Come on, what a line. What a line. Honestly, I'm obsessed with this song. And for me, it just felt like a full circle closure moment after hearing all of these, like Down Bad, My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys, Fresh Out the Slammer, So Long London, all of these very sad songs. And now it's like, cool, there's almost like this feeling of healing. So I'm going to put it there. Don't Say I Never Gave You Anything.
For me, I'm going to put it in good, no thoughts, just vibes. Just because I don't think I've appreciated enough to the extent to put it into Don't Say I Never Gave You Anything. So I think I need a few more listens on it to like fully appreciate, you know, all of the clever lyrics and all the rest. But I think it's going to be there soon enough.
Okay, and then that brings us to our last one. Can you believe it that we've already been through all of the songs on the album? Clara Bow.
I think the storytelling here is like just absolutely incredible. The fact that, you know, she's talking about, you know, all of these it girls that are coming up through the years. And how, you know, Hollywood, you know, because I'm such a pro there, you know, and how Hollywood is basically always promising or always looking for like an up and coming person to be the it girl, and to always compare, you know, someone against. I think it was just such a clever song.
That being said, I'm gonna put it in. It's good.
Me too.
It's good.
Me too.
It's not yet Don't Say I Never Gave You Anything. It's not God tier, but I like it, so I have to put it there under good. So again, no thoughts, just vibes. It sounds like a weird description because it's a very deep and meaningful song.
Yes.
I just don't have many thoughts about it. Like, I've appreciated the song and I listen to it and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, it's a bop. I enjoy it, but that is as far as I think about it.
And I guess to a certain extent, we haven't necessarily gone through something like this because of our profession. So it's not like, you know, they're always looking for the up and coming, like, rising talents and being like, oh my word, you are the best of the industry, right? So I think
not relatable to us
yet. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. But we still like it, so that's why it's not I don't get it, because I don't get it is like I'm not even gonna I don't listen to it.
100%, yes.
Okay.
So guys, this was the end of TTPD, and we are super excited and stoked. That was the jumbled word there. To do the anthology next.
Thanks so much, everyone, and please remember, you can still make the whole place shimmer. We'll see you next week for part 2, ranking the anthology. Bye, everyone.
Cheers.